The difference between Kenny and Julius Malema, Kenny has not said Mbeki should be removed and then changed after a few days. It's natural in politics and in sport and in life to change your position. We are not stagnant people. You can date a boy today and then you leave him tomorrow. Nobody should judge you. And you can play for one soccer team or one rugby team today and then you go. And the same goes for politics.
If not McKenzie, Malema, Ramaphosa or Zuma, who should lead South Africa? Patriotic Alliance President Gayton McKenzie once admitted, open quote, "We know for a fact we are not the right people to govern this country," close quote. He was speaking about himself, his deputy, Kunene, and even Julius Malema. Imagine that, a president of a political party admitting he's not the right person to lead. But here's the twist. When we look closely at McKenzie, Ramaphosa, Malema, and Zuma, maybe he's right. Maybe none of them are fit to govern. So the real question becomes, who then should lead South Africa? Let's break it down. Gayton McKenzie's comment. Gayton McKenzie is known for his blunt honesty. By admitting he and his allies may not be the right people, he was disarming critics, almost daring South Africans to confront the leadership vacuum. But this was also provocation. By pulling Julius Malema's name into the mix, McKenzie sparked a bigger debate. Are any of our current political leaders truly right for the job?
But Kenny Kunene does not go out. The problem, I'm not having a problem with him changing his political parties, Julius Malema. I have no problem with that. My problem is, I have kids. Do not make promises that I know as I'm sitting here, he would not be able to fulfill.
But speak to us about Kenny and you, two very controversial figures in politics starting out this new party. What makes the PA trustworthy, credible? What makes the South African voter want to put their faith in you?
Let me tell you what makes us trustworthy. Because firstly, we believe and we know, myself and Kenny and Julius are not the right people to govern this country. That's what I'm saying. We know for a fact that we are not the right people. Hence, at Patriotic Alliance, what we've done, we don't appear in any list to go to Parliament, although I'm eligible and Kenny Kunene is eligible to go to Parliament. But we understand that cadre deployment is not working. We understand that there are more qualified people that can do the work. Hence, you would never find us on our list. We are only, Patriotic Alliance is only birthed out of the expertise that we have to bring we got a certain skill set to bring people together with the right skill sets. And that's what we are doing. Julius Malema is number one on his list when it comes to Parliament. While I and our Secretary General, Kenny Kunene, we have no political ambitions. All that we want to do, we just want our people to be treated the same way that everybody else is being treated in this country.
Julius Malema. Let's talk about Julius Malema. He positions himself as the voice of the poor, but his record is filled with contradictions. He's accused of flip-flopping, radical one day, pragmatic the next, depending on what serves him politically. He's divisive, often fueling racial and class tensions instead of uniting South Africans. And while he claims to represent the poor, he's been widely criticized for a taste of luxury and opulence. How do you preach economic freedom for the masses while living large at the top?
Julius Malema is South Africa's most polarizing figures. To some, he is the fearless voice of the poor, the man who speaks truth to power, and a revolutionary who dares to confront inequality. To others, he is a dangerous populist, a man who has turned politics into personal business empire, fueled by controversy, scandal, and money trails that never quite add up. Today, we ask the uncomfortable questions. Who really funds Julius Malema? What role did he play in the VBS Mutual Bank scandal? And how does a self-proclaimed fighter for the poor afford a lifestyle of mansions, designer clothes, and expensive whiskey? This is the story of the alleged front companies, his ties to one of South Africa's worst financial disasters, and the extravagant world behind the Red Berets.
Cyril Ramaphosa. Then we have Cyril Ramaphosa. On paper, the businessman turned president was supposed to save South Africa. But look at the reality. The police service is in crisis, riddled with corruption and underperformance. The Tembisa Hospital scandal recently exposed how corruption in healthcare literally costs lives. And the Phala Phala farm scandal robbed him of credibility. How can he claim to fight corruption while dodging accountability for millions hidden in his sofas? Jacob Zuma and MK Party. And then there's Jacob Zuma and his MK Party. Zuma speaks as if he is the defender of the people. But we cannot forget state capture, failing SOEs, and how corruption thrives under his watch. MK may be gaining momentum, but is it really a path forward or just a recycling of old wounds? The big question. McKenzie admits he's not the right man. Malema shows us contradictions between words and lifestyle. Ramaphosa is drowning in scandals and inaction. Zuma already had his chance and left the country in crisis. So I ask again, if not them, then who?
I think more than 12 years ago, literally in 2012, some of us, like myself politically, I'd already made a proper analysis and correct diagnosis that the African National Congress, which is supposed to be the party for liberation, is not the correct instrument to bring about total emancipation, to bring about total economic emancipation and freedom to the people of South Africa. So we wrote, actually, it appears in a founding document of a separate organization now, which was founded 12 years ago, that the ANC is going to gradually dissipate, whether there is an alternate movement or not. And then we then said then that there is a need to constitute a revolutionary, a much more disciplined and clear advanced liberation force that is going to bring about true freedom and emancipation to the people of South Africa. Now, the ANC is dissipating, and it's not because of any of the existing political parties. It's dying a natural death. Now, the issue which actually a lot of the traditional leadership inputs that we got, and even from the religious institutions, was the question of whether the two other existing black political formations are correct instrument to could replace the ANC, which is going to naturally die because it has lost its relevance, it has fulfilled its historical mission. And a correct response, which I can corroborate with practical knowledge of, an intimate knowledge of what happens in both of the two other black organizations, they are not the alternatives. The EFF is not an alternative to the crisis of South Africa. If anything, it will deepen the crisis of South Africa.
Why?
Because it's directionless, one, but two, it has adopted habits and mannerisms of the African National Congress. I think we've made this observation publicly that if you check the conduct of its deployees in government, it's not dissimilar from what the ANC deployees do. And I know this because when I was in the EFF, I was responsible for government or governance. So a lot of complaints will be brought about the conduct of those that are deployed in government. And whenever we'll intervene, there will be an organizational resolution to protect wrongdoing.
Maybe it's time we stop waiting for political messiahs and start demanding systems that prioritize accountability, vision, and service to the people. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think is the right person or the right kind of leader to guide South Africa out of this mess? Thank you for watching and take care.